Hare Krishna. Welcome to a new live event of the GBC Strategic Planning team. Today, we are very fortunate to have a special guest, Dr. Nita Maheshwari from Pakistan, known in ISKCON as Prahlada Desh. So, Dr. Nita, you like to tell us something about yourself?
Thank you very much, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. First of all, I would like to extend thanks to entire team for inviting me to this forum. Then I would like to comment that services of GBC strategic team is commendable. In such difficult times, in such challenging time, the initiatives, the dialogues, the steps taken by GBC team is really remarkable. So now coming towards my insignificant introduction of myself. So materially, I am a doctor. I am a physician and working as a head of medical affair and clinical research in Health and Pharma. Then I am also practicing and along with this practice, medicine, medical education is my passion. So being a physician, I always try to sort out kind of initiatives which are inclined towards benefits of humanity. So this is my material introduction. Since 2 years, I'm associated with ISKCON Prahlada Desh, Pakistan, as a lead ISKCON Talent Talks. So basic focus revolves around educating masses, specifically teenagers, specifically youth, regarding the teachings of our Bhagavad Gita heritage, which is most precious and most valuable.
Okay, so thank you so much. I mean, you are grateful to us, but what you are doing with the devotees there, it's remarkable. So you told us you put together a group of 6 devotees, and you are doing something that you call telehealth initiative. You like to tell us something? What inspired you to come up with this initiative?
Prabhuji, actually, there are 3 reasons, First of all, as I said, that being a physician, uh, I am more passionate for medical education and practice of medicine. So, being very passionate medical physician, medical affair physician, I always try to explore new modalities, new methods which are innovative, which are improvising clinical benefits of patients. So this was the first reason. Second reason is my observation. Actually, what I have observed amongst non devotees, people who are practicing other sects, they always caution me. They say me that ISKCON is not very much focused on helping humanity. They are just dancing, chanting, praying, glorifying Lord, but on humanity front they are weak. So such kind of feedback, whenever I hear from non devotees who really don't know what ISKCON is all about, so I always try to propel myself to develop such projects which are covering the every aspect: spiritual, social, economical, and of course medicinal. So actually we can always see that there are so many aspects or fronts where ISKCON globally is very active, be it any spiritual, as I said, or any other kind of social, psychological, medicinal, nutrition, food campaigns. So several initiatives have been taken by ISKCON, but people are not aware, or they are ignorantly uh, don't acknowledge, or don't understand these philosophy of ISKCON, which is holistically covering every aspect of human life. So this, is the reason, one of the reason. due to which I always try to take such initiatives which are connecting humanity, spirituality, their health, their education, their trainings. Then, of course, there is a third and foremost, I would say foremost in the sense, uh, kind of initiative which we have launched last year. So basically last year we have launched Team ITT, that is ISKCON Talent Talks team. The objective of this team is to promote the utilization of talent, abilities, and skill set in serving of Lord Krishna. This is the core message of Srila Prabhupada philosophy. So the framework of this team revolve around making things happen in service of Lord Krishna. So it has 4 projects actually. Last year we launched 4 mega projects. One of the project was revolving around delivering speeches, giving oral presentation, PowerPoint presentation. One of the more mega project was revolving around digital initiatives. So we were aligning, we were arranging digital or electronic sessions from international speakers. So they were supporting us hugely in that particular initiative. Another project which ITT team has taken up was inspiring forum, or promoting the art and cultural and festivity uh, reasons or aspects of Hinduism, which people are not aware or they don't understand our strong heritage actually. Last but not the least, the one of the important or significant project we had taken from the platform of team ITT ISKCON Praladadish, that was ISKCON Care. ISKCON Care or well-being was revolving around the development of personnel, be it professional, be it training, educational, or health related. So this was one of the reasons that we have already launched last year the Health ISKCON, which is revolving around ISKCON Care or Wellbeing project. So under that project is continuation of more such initiative we have taken in pandemic state. As you can see that people are not able to take health services in clinical facility or healthcare setup. So in such lockdown restrictions, this is a need of the hour. So all these reasons have propelled me to conduct or to connect humanity, to conduct such kind of aspect, to understand humanity and their aspects actually.
So, Dr. Mita, how this telehealth works in practical terms?
Okay, basically, it is digitalized. Initially, what I was thinking about its launching would be revolving around kind of app, that is medical app. But seeing the situation of patients here, which are not very educated, can't operate technology simply or with convenience. So I just thought about utilizing other channels like video conferencing or telephonic calls, where patient can share their complaints and can gain their relief strategy or remedy from the doctors. So in Pakistan, it is a bit challenging already that technological advancement has not taken place in several years. People are not utilizing advanced technology. So what we did, we used simple tools, as I said, WhatsApp, Skype, Zoom, and video conferencing, telephone conversations with patients. And we developed certain days and schedule where doctors are available, and those doctors are devotee doctors who volunteer themselves to extend services to humanity.
Thank you. So, exactly how this works? How do you get to know about the patients? It is some government agency that shows you who needs your help? How does it work?
Basically, as I'm working in healthcare setup already, and other doctors are also working there. So what we did from the platform of ISKCON Prahladadesh, we made kind of flyers, we made ads, advertisements, and we tried to disseminate to a massive level across Pakistan. And what was the outcome? Several calls were received from other zones of the Pakistan, because I live in Karachi, that is Sindh zone, but calls received from Punjab zone and peripheral part as well. So the massive advertisement was made to reach this message of free services to humanity or to citizens of Pakistan.
Okay. So, is this something that is used massively in Pakistan, or is something quite pioneer, quite new?
Actually, as I said, that technological advancement is still evolving. It is extraordinary situation for Pakistan to utilize advanced tools and modalities specifically for healthcare or education setups. So, what we have observed the pattern is, before pandemic, few agencies like NGOs or kind of self-made organizations, they developed some tools, they launched some projects which were revolving around counseling of patients from perspective of underprivileged people or people living in remote area. They are not being served with proper healthcare services. So those few initiatives before this pandemic were running in Pakistan, but not at massive level. But now we see the drastic change since this COVID has started and this epidemic has been declared as pandemic. So we observed that many other players in the market like healthcare, pharma industry, research organizations, NGOs, they are making more advanced tool, they are educating people. They have just started in the era of pandemic, not before that. So this industry was not tapped before actually in Pakistan. Now people are making interest. Yeah.
So, personally, yourself, and maybe also the devotees you're working with, what are the most challenging aspects of this pandemic for you professionally or on any level?
Actually, patients, as I said, that are not majority educated here. So their diagnostic conversations, their legislative or their mitigation risk assessment was difficult part via available tools, which was video conferencing or WhatsApp group, Skyping or Zoom medias. So their advanced aspect was difficult part to assess as being a doctor, but yes, their primary care was easy to assess. Their minor symptoms and ailment were being addressed quickly and in a easy manner. But as far as complicated cases are concerned, patient is not being educated to communicate properly or to show us diagnostic evaluations or assessment. So again, there is a room for improvement.
Do you like to tell us something about the other members of the team? How many of
Yeah.
them are
Okay,
there?
we basically are two girls and four boys, and as I said that have volunteered themselves. They are devotees. They are connected to ISKCON, and they are working people in day timings. They are serving hospital setups, healthcare industry. They are related to, and beside all those services provision to patients, they have taken initiative during this pandemic to come forward to support this initiative. And as I said earlier, that different timings were allocated for different specialty. We had physician, we had radiologist, ophthalmologist, and general physician. So different need of the community or masses was catered by such diverse, talent.
Okay. So I'm sure our viewers are interested to also know, in general, ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, in Pakistan. How big it is? How many devotees are practicing? Is there any particular challenge to live and practice in an Islamic country? Share something, whatever you can share, without obviously putting in danger anybody.
Um, well, leadership of Pakistan is very supportive to Hindu community. We can see it is quite evident that first ever, inauguration ceremony for deity installation this year of Sri Gaur Nitai festivity, the announcement was made by minister who was Muslim. So they are supporting, and also there was announcement uh, regarding 10,000 of Bhagavad Gita printing and distribution. So government is quite, helping us, supporting us. But yes, one thing I want to emphasize here is the business tycoons or influential families which are belonging from Hindu sects, they should extend a strong commitment for taking this KC movement forward, because currently the ISKCON Prahlada Deesh is run by self-motivated local team, which is hugely supported by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj Ji and His Grace Shamanand Krishna Prabhu Ji. Because of their tireless efforts, tremendous support, ISKCON Center has been established. There are 6 active centers across Pakistan. Regular basis, we have been translating, Bhagavad Gita books. Printing is being done, and of course, distribution at massive level is being done as well. So their relentless, tireless efforts are really commendable, and thanks to their leadership, due to which regular festivity programs and regular educational programs have been set up on regular basis, and people are, really joining this movement because of this change, which has been seen since 3 to 4 years. So. This is again my emphasize is that when all the stakeholders from every front, like political front, from business tycoon, from educational front, and other regulatory bodies will push this movement, will have a strong commitment, then obviously this Krishna consciousness movement will flourish in a best way. So this is the current
So,
situation regarding. Yeah.
so right now, more or less, how many practicing devotees are there in the country?
I have no exact statistics actually, nor we have any survey conducted as such. So I could not comment regarding statistics, but yes, I can say that Sindh province, there are majority Hindu devotees practicing Krishna consciousness due to, as I said, leadership of His Grace Shamanand Krishna Prabhu Ji and His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj Ji. But we have more miles to go, like Punjab zone and other areas, KPK side. We have to tap, we have to make devotees there, we have to carry and we have to distribute nectar of Bhagavad Gita there. So that is only possible when we have strong commitments from legislative assembly positions, Hindu, which are representing Hindu minority. Influential family come forward to push this movement, so the journey would be easier.
Okay, so you are encouraging whoever is in a position to help to step forward. Now, we have a question which could be controversial. Would you be able to take a question from the audience right now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I hope that you'll be able to address it and perhaps tell us it's not true. So this is the question from Sridhari Mother. Hare Krishna Mataji, my humble obeisances to you. We keep seeing a lot of news of forceful abduction and conversion of Hindu girls to Islam in Pakistan. Do you have any idea and thoughts whether to deal with the problem? And first of all, I will add, is it really an issue or it's just a rumor?
We can say that lack of education regarding religious practices or our own dharma incline people towards such conversions and such changes in their sex or their religion. So basic fault revolves around our own weak commitments towards making generation aware about our own philosophy. So this is my responses.
Okay, but so can you tell us that perhaps, as you said, maybe people who are not have this strong legacy connected to India, to the Vedic tradition, to Krishna consciousness, voluntarily choose the majority practices of Islam? I mean, do you know that really young girls are forcefully converted?
Actually, what I said is ignorant, yes, makes people, people's position uncertain, unpredictable, their existence become unquestionable whenever there is ignorance. So, ignorance is, yeah, obviously. So, such cases do exist, but again, we should, rectify the reasons, we should strategize. Remedies to cope up with such reasons. So
So what I hear you saying is that education is the best best action to be taken.
Yeah, of course.
Now we have another question from Aradhya Bhagavan Prabhu in Calcutta. Please tell us about something on the book distribution in Pakistan. How that happens. Maybe you don't have all the data of the numbers, but what's the dynamic? You sell books to anybody or only to those from a Hindu background? How does it work?
Of course, wherever there is opportunity to distribute nectar of this Bhagavad Gita or big books from Srila Prabhupada ji, we use every media, every channel. Like many of the ministers or many of the influential entities have been given our Bhagavad Gita as a present, as a gift in festivities, in events. So it is being distributed. Whoever is interested, whoever is welcoming Krishna consciousness movement. And there is a challenge actually, as I said, that there are less people who are educated, so English is not being understood by majority of people. So the efforts of ISKCON Prahladadesh must be appreciated, that they are making translation, making books printable and distribution, of course.
Thank you. So back to the medical aspect. We see that some countries are having many deaths due to COVID-19. India has already officially declared more than 3,000. And Pakistan officially has only less than 1,000 people who left their body due to the disease, due to this virus. Is it something, because how do you explain that? There is a very well-organized lockdown in place, or there are some effective measures. What's your take on it?
When we see current statistics, so we can appreciate that more than 40,000 people have been infected now. And as you said that around 1,000 800 to 900 are being died actually due to this COVID pandemic. And recovery rate is not very progressive. It is 10,000 people almost who have been recovered. So, country like Pakistan, where commitment towards health and education, medical research is still evolving because of lack of resources or constrained resources. We find so many challenging aspects while overcoming such unexpected situations like
Hmm.
COVID, or such public health crisis. So, yes, lockdown policy has been made initially, and nowadays there is, fasting month observance for entire country. So, it has been softened, it has been flexed, that policy of lockdown. It is not completely 100% we can say that restriction of lockdowns. So, government policies are aligned as per situation. Initially, cases were progressively coming out, but the reason was, under investigation. Now we can see that reasons are being reported now as well. Patients are dying along with some other illnesses. Patients are dying not actually with not solely due to coronavirus, but it is because of some other illnesses, immunocompromised system, due to elderly or more age group people are being affected. Several other comorbidities like diabetes, asthma, mental illnesses are making people prone to get died. So such kind of interpretations are now coming out. Initially there was like emergency, and there were no understanding of what situation is. So now lockdown policy has been softened, and it is flexi. But of course, as you see that numbers are growing, infected patients are growing. So we foresee that kind of complete 100% lockdown will be established in few days.
And do you have any direct experience with somebody suffering from this disease that you like to share?
Not yet. Even on telehealth calls, I didn't get a single such case. There were some other ailments which were needing, attention and need for relief remedy, but no direct case of corona which I encounter yet.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, as a doctor and therefore a person on the front line of health, do you have any message for devotees in Pakistan and all over the world? Some encouragement to remain safe, healthy, and also happy and productive at this time of pandemic?
Yeah, we can say that times are challenging, as there have been said one quote that uh, most of the achievement of the world have been accomplished by discouraged people, depressed people, demotivated people who kept on working. So my message would be, we need to keep striving, keep serving Lord Krishna. We have this important opportunity to utilize our pandemic times reading Srila Prabhupada ji books, because ultimate goal, ultimate remedy, ultimate solution, or we can say that every essence of life is being addressed in that book, those books which have been written by Srila Prabhupada ji. And we need to adopt Bhagavad Gita teachings for successful life actually.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we are almost at the half an hour mark. Of course, if there are more questions from our viewers, we can share it with Dr. Nita Maheshwari. Otherwise, Doctor, if you have any other message or comment you like to share, as you like.
Thank you very much, everyone, and do connect me whenever there is any question. The basic purpose of life revolves around serving humanity, and Krishna gives us ability, skill set, whatever talent we need to utilize in the service of Lord Krishna. So that's the best fulfilled purpose of life. Thank you very much.
Okay, we have a little question, an important question from Daily Jagannath Iskom Prabhartak, but I will ask a more clarification. Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm Sundar Shyam Rup Das from Iskon Chittagong in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Mataji, last 6 days in our temple, most of the devotees, they're suffering fever, including me. So then there is another part. Mataji, what should we do? So we have 6 devotees in Chittagong, Bangladesh. They're having fever. So what they should do? So you have a chance for practicing telehealth directly live.
Exactly. Thank you for this concern. Basically would like to have some history of those 6 cases. So are they practicing with or taking measures of isolation? Are they practicing hygiene, all the tips? Are they practicing? What are other symptoms? I would like to know beside this fever. What is the type or frequency of fever? Is this just one case at one time, or simultaneously all the 6 cases appeared as a feverish? So certain questions need to be addressed to gain kind of full consultation. So they can connect me video conference or some other tools they can utilize to gain advice from this telemedicine advocate.
So I would like to thank you very much on behalf of our viewers, on behalf of the GBC Strategic Planning team. I want to wish you all the best in this compassionate effort. And any last message before we end the broadcast?
Serve Krishna with pure intent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You certainly are not only a doctor for the body, but also a doctor for the soul. Thank you, Dr. Nita Maheshwari.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.